Well, this is what I rode up to find this morning. I knew it was going to happen. So I guess when they said I was working till snowfall, they weren't lying. Here we are. Well, here we are, guys, and it's kind of funny. Doesn't look like my excavator's got any snow on it at all, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but my mood is very weather dependent. And over the last few years, I've grown less and less fond of winter. So I've got a couple more years to put up with it, at minimum. But plan is to not deal with this shit for much longer. But for now, we have to. Gotta dig burrow holes here. This is what's taking so long on this trail. Because there's so much moss, as you can see. That top layer there, about 8 inches. And then there's another layer of like moss and roots. So we're over 12 inches of material here before I reach this stuff, which is clay-ish. The stuff I'm sitting on right now is coal. It's a coal clay mix. But I gotta do this because otherwise the trail is way too low. So stuff like this, I don't want it in the trail, so it's gotta go. Now it's good material. That's a good clay right there. It'd be nice if there was a little bit more rock in it, but there's not. So that's what we have to work with right now. So I've changed modes here today. I see the snow, I see the forecast. It doesn't get a lot better. So I'm in a different mode here now. Last week I kind of thought maybe I'll take my time and make some features and stuff. I'm not doing that now. My goal here today is, and the rest of this week, is to get out of here. Get this trail done, get out of here. I could drag it out for another week, but it's time. See that black hole? There's a lot of it here. for fuel. Let's check this out. There should be a full can and a part can if I didn't fuel up. There's the full one, there's the part one. So, guess that answers my question. I didn't fuel up. Well, that went all right. I didn't do anything special with it. Like I said, I want to get out of here, so I took a look at the map. I'm dead. I'm right in the middle, halfway. Maybe slightly less than halfway. Yeah, so I don't think this is getting done this week, unfortunately. It's not going to happen. I'll be back here next week. Hopefully just for a couple days. Man, there's a couple trees here I'd like to use, though. This one here, that's leaning. It's starting to come right out of the ground, so I mean, that'd be nice to use. I just don't have the time to do it. So that trail is going to be kind of flat right to here, and then it kind of starts dropping again just a little bit. I don't know. There's a chance I could finish this week. But it would just be basically rough trail, nothing special at all. There's nothing special about it anyway. This is kind of such a cool spot. Would be awesome to put a bridge over that. But yeah, here we are halfway today. So that's it for today. Back tomorrow. Okay, I wasn't expecting this trail to keep going and going and going, and now we're at a T to another trail. So I have no idea where we are. Yeah. There's that clearing. And then we just kept going down this trail. I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere. I have no idea where we are now. And I'm offline, so it won't zoom in very well for me. So I guess we're probably just going to go back. Yeah. There's a trail in here I can see, but it says no motorized use. We're close to it, but okay, we're just going to go back. You guys are going to die here any minute. So we're going to go back and just hit up that road. The Lease Road, I think it's called. And then we're going to decide what to do from there. And pretty cool spot here. Over there you can see their bike trails. I don't know if they'll show up on camera, but that's where we were working. Right there. I was right at the top. It's supposed to be new trail going up that mountain right there. Baldy. Pretty cool spot here. Yep, pretty awesome. I'm just finding ATV trails and side-by-side trails everywhere here. No idea where lots of them go, but no labels on them or anything, so pretty cool spot though. Well, I'm taking the day off today. I started this job, I thought I'd have lots of time to go dirt biking, mountain biking. And this will be the first ride of the year, October 7th. So I figured it's going to be plus 13 today. And I think it's back to like 6 tomorrow. So today's the day. We're going to ride today, have a good time, have a couple beverages, and back to work tomorrow. I still want to get that trail nearly done this week. So I have to get back to it. But yeah, we're taking it. Well, how did that feel? I guess we're not videotaping this trip anymore. She gone. Well, too bad we had that GoPro incident. But you guys are missing out. We're having a wicked ride here. Yeah, some awesome trails. Pretty cool today because I've ridden a lot of the trails here, but this is all new to me. So, pretty awesome. We're heading back down now, and then we're gonna ride behind two mountains and check out this new trail that apparently some people did some work on. So check it out, have a beer halfway, and head back home. Well, we're back, changed up, really good ride. Tom did a bit of an endo, went to go around a puddle, and where it looked grassy, there was a big soft hole, and he went right over, right into the puddle. I wish I got it on camera, but I didn't. So that camera mount is shot. Won't be able to use that the rest of this week, I guess. Anyhow, day off was a good day off. About 70 kilometers. And I don't know what time it is. 5:30, about 5.5 hours. That's a good ride. That's a really good ride. Played on some really cool trails that I've never been on before. Some super steep stuff. Really good. Yep. But back at her tomorrow. Here we are again today. Got out here early this morning. It was still dark when I got going. I think it was +2 this morning. And when I started coming up the mountain, and it started getting cold, and it started snowing. So when I got here this morning, it hadn't snowed yet, but everything was getting white as we got started. But thankfully it quit, and I think it's supposed to be done here by 11, according to the weather network. So, yeah. So we got about 100 feet here this morning already. You can see back there a little bit. We're not gonna try to do anything special on this trail. It's getting even more mossy, more rooty, and very dense in here. So it's really hard for me to get material for the trail and get the moss and roots out of the trail. Would have liked to leave a lot of the roots in this trail because it is a black, but the roots are just under the surface, and you can't really leave them because they'd be way too high. Like, there's still moss and still soil underneath those roots. So I have to get that out of there to be able to get down to clay. So it's not possible. So I'm digging down here in some spots close to 2 feet. And then I have to build that trail back up. So this is slow going. And the fact that I don't have a lot of room here to cast that material out, as you can see behind me, this is a good spot actually. This isn't really too dense here. It gets a lot worse from this part on. And without actually pushing down trees, I don't have a lot of room to get my material out of here. That section there is not too bad, but that just kind of gives you an idea of how much material that I'm actually dealing with. That trail right there, that was 2 feet down, and you see the black, that's coal that I'm pulling out to put back in here. So it's a challenge here right now. Just for time wise, we want to get this trail done by Tuesday. I'm gonna walk this off a little bit here today and estimate where I'm going to get to and just see where that is. Yeah, we've got 100 feet this morning in about 3 hours. That's not great, to be honest. I'm only about halfway, I think, at this point, or maybe a little bit further. Yeah, so we're going to estimate here and see what happens. Hopefully Monday, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm not sure exactly yet, but 2 days next week, I hope to have this done. But like I said, it's not going to be anything special. I'd like to spend more time on this and put some features in, but I just got to get it done at this point. And if the group wants to maybe add some features in here, they can do that later. Unfortunately, I would like to have been the one to do it, but it's not going to happen. We just don't have the time. Okay, so I'm standing at I guess it would be the exit of this connector trail. So this brush here is left here, just so it doesn't show that there's a trail here. But I'm just going to turn around here. I'm going to show you how dense this is. So on either side of the trail, that's how dense it is. And it's this dense for about 100 feet. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to map. I'm just going to walk this trail. I'm going to map it. I'm around halfway right now. And I'm going to map it so that I can show where I am now and where I think I'm going to get to. There's a good chance we're not finishing this trail this year. I think this last section is going to take a long time. It's super mossy, and there's nowhere to put dirt, to put soil and moss. And there's a ton of trees as well. So you can imagine the amount of roots that are in here. Well, this whole area is roots. And they're just under the moss. So there's so much work to do in here. From where I am now, it's going to be tight for about 50 to 75 feet. And then it opens up a bit. There is a good area there where it's fairly open. So that's good. That'll go a little quicker. But this area here and another good section is super tight. I don't foresee this going very fast. So we're going to get as far as we can get this week. And then I got 2 days next week, basically. Maybe a third one. And then that's it. And if we don't get it done, we don't get it done. That's just going to be the way it is. I mapped it. What did it say? 0.3 of a mile, but it's a little bit longer than that. I hit 0.3 probably about 100 yards, not quite, before the end. So say it's 3.5, something like that, or 0.35. At the point where I am now, where the excavator is, that said 0.2 of a mile. So that's saying we have more to go than we've already come. But I mean, it's taken me five or 6 days to get this far. And that was in areas that were a lot more open than what we have to coming up to deal with, and less mossy. Still pretty mossy, but less mossy. One of those days was spent building that log feature, but that's still 5 days. So right now we're looking at the rest of today and 3/4 of a day tomorrow, and then 2 more days. So if we can get this trail done it'll be just. That's what I'm thinking at this point. I guess I shouldn't have taken yesterday off. Oh well. We actually made it quite a ways today. Probably 500 meters. 400, something like that. A lot further than I thought we were going to get. Puts us in a really good spot to finish this up next week. So I'll come in here tomorrow and get as much done as we can. And if we do things right, if we get as much done as I hope tomorrow, if it goes as good as today, we should pretty much just have that crappy tight section left to do next week. And that'll put us in a really good spot, and that'll get this trail done. Yeah, unfortunately, there are some sections here that I would really have liked to spend a lot of time on. Just not going to get a chance to. I want to get this done because they want it done. So, yeah, maybe they can come in by hand next year and do some fun stuff, or walk another machine in and fix some stuff up. But at least the trail will be in and people can use it. So that's where we're at. I think we're in a good spot here after today. Wasn't looking real good this morning, but really started to move along good afterwards. So yeah. Well, we're right in the clouds this morning. It's a cold one. -1. Tried to get up here early today, but by the time I got everything organized, it's 8:30. So it's what it is. But beautiful morning, other than being cold. Oh no, I lost a glove. Well, turns out I didn't lose my glove. I had it on my hand. So we're going to park on the exit side today because we're quite a bit closer to this side than we are the other. And I've got to walk in some fuel this morning because we are empty. So, yeah, sun is right in our eyes today. But we're going to get started here. We want to get about, if we could get another couple 100 meters today, that would be awesome. We'll be right set up for next week. So we had a good day yesterday. We're going to keep trucking along here. Okay, so we've come quite a ways here just in the first couple hours this morning. Probably did about 150 yards. Maybe not quite. Standing at a point here, about another 25 or more yards. And that'll bring us to this thick section. And there's not much left from here. Oh, probably 150 to 200 yards. So that's the goal for today. In the next 2 hours, we'll get this done. It won't take me that long, I don't think, to do it, but we've got a bunch of kind of cleanup stuff here to do today, especially before the weekend. Oh man, a pine marten. Holy. I wish I got that on film. That's crazy. Anyhow, yeah, so, yeah, we got a bunch of cleanup to do. Some empty jerry cans got to go. and we got to hide some full ones. This weekend is a long weekend, Thanksgiving, so there's going to be people around. It's not a great spot here for leaving stuff, but we don't have a choice. Can't just take the equipment out every time, but we're going to take some of our smaller stuff out of here, especially because we have the quad today. And so yeah, in the next hour or so, I'll finish this trail to here, and then we'll start cleaning up and get out of here for this weekend. And then when I come back on Tuesday, we'll finish this right up. It'll take me just that day, I hope. And then the next day, maybe a little bit of cleanup, and then we're going to load up, and that's it for us. We're going to be done here for the season. And on to some other things for the winter that will keep me busy. But yeah, we're looking pretty good here, and we're going to be done here pretty soon.